Tucker Carlson, in his insane, thirsty, horny rant about AOC, didn't just focus on her looks. He also decided that it was up to him, a white heir to a fortune, to decide who gets to be a person of color or not. Watch this.
First of all, was hearing Sandy Cortez describe herself as a woman of color. She often does. No one ever dares to challenge that description, but every honest person knows it is hilariously absurd. There is no place on earth outside of American colleges and newsrooms where Sandy Cortez would be recognized as a, quote, woman of color, because she's not. She's a rich, entitled white lady. She's the pampered, obnoxious ski bunny in the matching snowsuit who tells you to pull up your mask while you're standing in the lift line at Jackson Hole. They're all the same. Doesn't matter which shade they are.
Does AOC talk about skiing constantly? I gotta love, like, his idea is I'm gonna make her out to be an elitist by using super inside baseball references to the skiing I do that she doesn't. Brett talks a lot about him constantly talking about dinner parties. Yeah. Does he think that we get these references, that we live this sort of like, we're not heirs to fortunes, Tucker. I understand that you want to pretend you're a right-wing populist or something. You're the only crazy, undeservedly rich person in this story.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. It's like, when you're waiting in the Admirals Club for your private jet and she says you took too much caviar.
It's like that.
That is that specific. Like, who is in that situation and why are you being so weirdly specific about it? And it's also weird because ostensibly his audience is white, and ostensibly his audience is fairly well off. Maybe not, they're all rich elites, but they're middle class. They've got money, right? They're like upper middle class. That's who he is talking to. He weaponizes race against, poor people specifically. And yet now he's saying she's a rich, entitled white woman. Like, that would presume that actually white privilege exists. So it's a thing. Mm-hmm. Do you agree? Is that critical race theory? Have we gone too far? So I really don't know what he's saying, but ultimately it's racist as hell. It's super disrespectful. She's Puerto Rican. What are you talking about? Like,
no, he gets to decide. Look, he saw the conversation on Rogan about a black guy not being black enough for Jordan Peterson or whatever, and he thought, I need to get me some of that. And the weird sexualizing, there was a similar thing targeting AOC recently. He needs to do that. They are all competing with each other to be the grosser troglodyte. That's all it is. It is a race to the bottom of the area underneath the bridge. That's what it is. And so he will say whatever disgusting thing he thinks he needs to, while also having a fun little, seeming flaw in logic that AOC spent the first solid year of being a public figure being told that because she's young, and especially because she was a bartender recently, you don't have to pay attention to anything she thinks. She's not elite enough. Now, too elite, she's an elite, she's rich. Forget all the bartender stuff that we were just talking about. Now, she's an elitist, which we don't like. Although we love Trump. We love Trump and other people like him, but we don't love elitists when they're people of color. Sorry, not people of color. I'm gonna pretend that they're white. I'm also gonna continually butcher their name. She isn't Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's Sandy Cortez. Cortez isn't her last name. That's weird, and I've come up with this nickname for her that I'm gonna stick her with for literally years. But she is the weird one in all of this. That's the takeaway. Now, really fast, I wanna give you some of what she said in response to this. We can have a debate about whether she should grapple with any of this, but she did. She doesn't back down from this sort of stuff. She tweeted, "This is the type of stuff you say when your name starts with a P and ends with Dejo," which I think was great. Remember when the right wing had a meltdown when I suggested they exhibit obsessive impulses around young women? Well, now Tucker Carlson is wishing for this. This is in response to the booty call thing. You're a creep, bro. If you're this easy with sexual harassment on air, how are you treating your staff? Which is a great question. If you have any information, leak it to Ken Klippenstein, please. I genuinely want to know why Tucker Carlson is allowed/paid to engage in clear, targeted, libelous harassment that endangers people and drives so many violent threats that people have to fundraise for their own safety. Why should they have to pay for his harassment? Make it make sense. It's not within the realm of political commentary, and it's not just me. He regularly targets people that do not have access to resources for protection. Once he gets to fantasizing about booty calls of women on national TV, I cease to see the political value outside of incitement. I don't think that there is any intended political value outside of incitement. This is just more meat being thrown into the stream for the piranhas that they are training their base to be. Never stop swimming. Never think about your economic situation, why things are so terrible and why the right isn't even proposing solutions, let alone not actually making good on them. No, attack AOC and then transgender students and then some black author, I guess, and then teachers at the local level and then Fauci and that just attack. Just attack constantly. Never think about the state of your life and why it's not improving. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I have a lot of final thoughts. I know we have to keep going, but let's just be honest. They're jealous and they're scared of AOC. And part of the reason that they are is because she's incredibly personable. She is attractive. And she does make you feel like she's an ordinary person. When they're in a world of smoke and mirrors and fake populism, she actually is the real thing. Now, that's just the package, but it's even double whammy. The fact that she talks about a Green New Deal, the fact that she's asking for Congress people to not trade in stock. The fact that she is on the forefront, politically on the forefront in pulling the party left, pulling her voters left, right? That is what scares them more than anything. She is a force to be reckoned with, and they have to knock her down no matter what. And whereas Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib, they're Muslim, okay, that's easy, we can go after that. AOC, they have to invent all because she goes live on Instagram. Everyone goes live on Instagram. This is a regular occurrence if you want to be in any kind of public facing game, and they know that, and they're so horribly uncharming and disgusting, and no one would want to see into their stupid little lives that they of course wouldn't do something like that. And again, guys, Fox News, we don't need to imagine how they treat their staff. Roger Ailes stalking and harassing Gretchen Carlson, right? We've got Bill O'Reilly no longer has a job because he would call his coworkers and sexually harass them time and time and time again. And who knows the things that are currently happening. It is toxic. And for me, I'm just like, where are the Republican women at? You got to get on board. You need to do your job. You need to actually break off. You don't have to agree with the left. You don't have to agree with progressive politics. I don't care. But you need to wake the hell up because you've got a responsibility here, and not being sexually harassed or targeted for misogynistic reasons. That's number one. Stand up for your goddamn selves.
You should, and when you do, you should be supported. There is a financial cost to it. Andrea Tantaros raised, issues with how she was treated there. Has she appeared in public since then?
Right.
Like her career was done as soon as she raised concerns about the sexual harassment and that sort of thing. So it's awful. It's awful. And you're totally right in how they try to take down these people. I mean, the good news is that hopefully they will have even more that they're gonna have to grapple with. What are they gonna be saying about Nina Turner when she's on the House floor giving fiery speeches? Jessica Cisneros. Like, just let's give them an army that they have to go up against.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.